Okay, but the recycling we're doing is a static leach, very inefficient. It's been done. It was the first ever cyanide system that was used, or technique that was used. We're still doing it. It's not very suitable for this dump. This dump's got lumps in it, schist lumps, because this horizon here, the upper portion of it leaches very freely, even though it can be coarse 6mm pieces of rock, but it's a schist. It's very soft material. The inner core of those pebbles is where you've still got a lot of income, because the cyanide doesn't penetrate right through like a sponge. You know, it'll eat on the outer oxidized portions. So this dump needs a regrind.
Remill it.
Remill it, yeah, a regrind. You remill it, CIP it, all right? It's instant income. The faster you build the plant, the quicker that happens. The next very incredibly fast source of income is another mill, stamp mill, and a few of these Chinese compressors. They're about $7,000. It's $8,000, but they're cheap, locally supported, simple to operate, and they come with a jackhammer. You quickly get another stamp mill up and another 4 of those shafts going in from the valley here. And there's one guy this side. He's got phenomenal. He's got 20 to 30 gram a ton in feldside.
So there will be 2 parallel operations. One milling our own rock, underground rock, and one sourced from the milling itself.
But if I'm trying to put things,
we're doing right now,
if I'm trying to put things into a sequence, I'm saying if you guys fired the gun tomorrow, I would straight away go with the second stamp mill and servicing more small workers with compressors, because that's instant. It's 2 months.
Instant revenue.
In 2 months and you're rocking. It's more gold to buy. I would go straight away with the CIP for these dumps. And then from after all of that, you start sinking your shafts and going for the honey pot, the ridge level.
So that's about 6 months from now.
CIP is about 3 months from pushing the button.
CIP, you could go 2-tier. You could start off with probably 4 months to already be doing around 2,500 ton a month, and then build on more leach tanks, more agitators, and 2 months later you click into 4,500 ton a month. Ideally 5,000 ton a month is the figure.
Okay.
4,000 mined and 1,000 from the toll milling, and that gives you it means you're stockpiling about 500 ton a month. It's always good to have a stockpile.
Sure.
Every year that goes by, you've built up 2 months worth of 1.5 months worth of stockpile for the unforeseens.
But we will still reinvest in production as long as it is, if we see that we have a bottleneck, if we see that we can produce another for 2,000 whatever. So we will continuously invest.
You say the one incline shaft goes there, a couple of other shafts will go here.
Yeah, I would have 3 shafts, 3 major shafts, one in the center of gravity of the ore reserve, and one on the just to the right of us, and then one about 400 meters apart. I am next week I'm doubling the strike length of this reef exposure next week, and I'm going to go and show you now why. Just over here on the one extreme, the small workers were mining during this period 2006 until 2 months ago. There was no stamp mill here, so they were milling at my old mill site at the back. So these guys stopped working, but they were getting 6 gram a ton out of there, and that's 500 meters of extra strike length for us this side. On that side of the mine, the driver driving that excavator now asked for permission. He actually thought we owned the ground. I said, no, you may go ahead. But it's not our ground. But next week we're pegging it. There's another kilometer that side that we're nailing. Desmond's already had a look at it, and we've got a... Your future though. The guy we're milling now has got, you know, Johnny, 1.8 meters of reef. Historically, 9 gram a ton. 9 gram a ton. He's 56 meters deep now. You don't normally get that with these small workers.
What strike is he working on?
Huh?
What strike length?
Well, he's only got one clamp, all right?
Okay.
And we've tried to see whether his lateral sides are open to pegging.
Is he open for some kind of joint
He
venture or
is.
so?
We're already doing.
Okay.
We already take 20.
One of the guys that he had been talking to earlier on, and then we thought maybe we had lost him, but we haven't really lost him, right?
No, he's back online. The one I'm a bit worried about is Mbungu, this side.
There's two guys.
Yeah, Mbungu's the other one. But Mbungu's had an MP come in there with an excavator and reopen the old portal. Then Mbungu heard that we're online now, now he's trying to get rid of the MP, and I think but we'll see how it goes. But a guy like Johnny, let me tell you now, Desmond will tell you, 50, 60 meters deep, 1.8 meters wide is a very commercial sized reef.
No. That's
And
not
at 9 gram a ton, that's a honey job.
that's not more small scale. That could be
That's
could be
more than
large.
small scale. Now, that is typically, you see a lot of this in the south of the country. Mines like Vubachekwi, Blanket Mine, they have their main operation like us, the Gloy. And they'll have the Jani extension, Jani shaft. And they'll have the Mbungu shaft. And they'll have a Bell 30-ton 6-wheel articulated dumper running every day, bringing in 1,000 ton a month from satellite locations. It's not uncommon. You have the Ruby section and the Michael section and the Tony section. Each shaft has its own little infrastructure, but doesn't process.
Okay.
And they all
The
bring it
processing is done centrally.
essentially
Yeah.
the main
Now
crusher.
that is a huge future for this mine. Huge. The fact that you've got the Mkaradzi down here, the fact that he's about to tell you, and I want him to tell you about it, but it's just the other side of the valley, isn't it? The guys like Johnny, equipped, shaft equipped and so on, we've only given him air power so far. We've given him cap lamps for the underground, explosives facilities, but I'm going to be putting in a small headgear rail so that we mechanize the extraction of the ore. But he will easily go to 2 loads a day. Now these are 7-ton trailers that we have here, 7 to 9 ton. That's one stample already taken up by one individual from the Jani section. And that's why I'm going to have 2 stamples here for our favorite boys, with security fencing, demarcating their stockpiles and so on, so there's no theft and so on. Here the other 3 stamples will service the common small workers, we call it, We're going to put a DSTV down here. I used to have DSTV down here.
What's that?
DSTV, my guys used to watch Arsenal and Manchester United.
Okay, sorry.
The proper bouquet of they were not allowed then to watch any news channels, because in those days you used to get a lot of negative press about Zimbabwe and Mugabe and so on. But funny enough, just a quick one, there's a school at the back here. The kids used to come from school, and the kids were allowed 3 hours every afternoon to watch Cartoon Network. And their English improved, no one knows by what fold.
Just from watching cartoons.
Watching English Cartoon Network. Anyway, that is, we're going to have a beer hall down here and a grocery shop.
So in terms of the compound and the compound infrastructure and stuff, you're saying this is the location where you think of?
Where we came through there, the compound it's actually pegged as a residential site. Compound site down there. Coming up our road that feeds here is where I'm planning to have the more senior employees accommodation. This house behind us is 4 bedrooms. One half of the house is complete. The other half still needs ceilings, bath, a shower and a toilet and ceilings. And she's ready to go. And electrical.
So we'd have to have our own construction team.
It's all built into the quotes I gave Michael. The entire package of what it was required to get this thing up and going. You may want to add 10-20% on. Now things have got a little more expensive in Zim.